what you're doing. This is a great charity ride that you guys do, and I really appreciate it. And on behalf of Three Ranges Brewing Company, we would like to donate $250 to your cause.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully it helps with your charity.
Absolutely. Any donation is fantastic. And small businesses like yours are really supporting the ride, so we thank you very much.
No, thank you. We appreciate veterans, and we're obviously huge fans of supporting veterans and veterans charities and the things that they do, and that's what we do.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We're here with Michael Lewis at Three Ranges Brewery. Michael had a visit today from the military police motorcycle relay ride. What was that about?
Last year, I met Tony, who coordinates the BC portion of the ride, and we had a chat over some beers talking about this military charity ride and my association with the military and the charity work that or the donations that we do for different charities. And we decided to coordinate a visit to allow the riders to come in here, and we raised some funds for that charity ride, and gave them a donation of $250 this year.
Today there was a presentation at the Three Ranges Brewery. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was fantastic. Last year while we were here at the Legion, we were talking to Michael, the owner of the brewery, and he's got a bit of a military background himself and a huge support for the military. And all year long he produces a beer called Sacrifice Red, and every month the proceeds from that beverage go to support a different military charity. After talking with him last year, he decided that July would be our month, and so all the proceeds from that Sacrifice Red beer went to the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay Ride this year, and we'll be handing that over to the Military Police Fund for Blind Children, and that check was in the amount of $250.
The charity ride is something we really want to support after the conversations that Tony and I have had about it, and it's something we hope to do every year.
Great. Why is it important to you to support this charity?
I'm just being a veteran myself, I'm a huge supporter of veterans and things that veterans are doing and what they're, I just want to support veterans in everything that they do, because I don't think they get enough support from the governments that they've sacrificed so much for.
We're here with Owen Edwards, who is the chair of the BC leg of the Military Police National Motorcycle Relay Ride, which is stopping here tonight in Valemount. Owen, welcome to Valemount.
Thank you very much.
I wonder if you could tell people, what is the ride about?
It's a national endeavor to raise money for the Military Police Fund for Blind Children, which is, as it sounds, a fund that distributes educational equipment to blind children within the community. So it doesn't have to be a military family, it doesn't have to have any relation to the military whatsoever, but anybody that has children or young adults who have vision impairment or vision issues, they can apply to the fund, and we'll supply things like braille machines, specialized iPads that have programs that the visually impaired can use to continue their education.
Great. So this is a national ride. It goes from where to where?
It started in Victoria on the 2nd of August, and it's going to end up in Gander, Newfoundland. I can't tell you the exact date off the top of my head, but it's going to be the end of August.
Great. And this is the 7th annual ride, I understand?
That is correct, yes.
And I also believe this is the world's longest motorcycle relay ride.
That is also correct, yeah. We, coast to coast, Canada isn't 11,000 kilometers long, but that's approximately how many miles we cover, or kilometers we cover. The ride doesn't just go straight across the Trans-Canada. We go up and down between bases and legions. So obviously there's no base in Valemount, but we came by the Legion this evening to show our support, and the Legion supports us as well.
Pete, the National Military Police Motorcycle Relay Ride is in town, and the Legion once again is supporting them. Tell us about why the Legion likes to help this charity.
We've been supporting the Military Police Motorcycle Relay for 4 years now. Because of the military background with it, it's a huge thing for us to support. Lamont French originally came to me 4 years ago looking for support as far as a stopover place, and so, we've been able to provide them, a dinner every year and a pancake breakfast the next day, and we don't do a lot of financial support, unfortunately, because of the time of year we can't pass a motion to donate, but we collect what we can and support them every year. And we really try to make it a full evening for them. We provide shuttle service so they can come and share camaraderie here at the branch and support the club. And so I think we were the first branch to do that, and now they've sort of approached other branches, and they're getting buses and shuttle wagons for the larger group with the national ride to do the same thing, because it's sort of give back. They support us as much as we support them. So.
Now, I understand that 7 years you guys have raised a lot of money. Do you happen to know offhand what the total is so far?
Total, I can't tell you. It varies year to year, but I can tell you last year, the 2014 ride raised $129,000.
Wow, that's incredible, and it's a really worthy fund that you're dealing with here. How can local people help out, do you think, for this?
You can go to the website. I mean, I've posted on Facebook with the information, and the website is there. People can donate. If they want, they can come into the branch and make a donation towards it, and we'll put it in an envelope and make sure it gets to the Military Police Blind Children's Fund as well.
How did you get involved? You're not involved as an organizer of the event, and I understand you have no military affiliation like most of the people do here. How did you get involved?
A friend told me about the ride. Big ride enthusiast, love riding. Loved to ride in a big group. When I found out that it was for a charity, it piqued my interests even more. So Tony, who organized the ride, he emailed me. I got all the information, and here I am.
That's great. Well, I know that they're trying to encourage more people to get involved in either just the BC leg or going national if they want to do that. What would you say to people? This is your first ride. What was the experience like for you?
It's been an awesome experience. We've had some terrible weather, but that hasn't dampened anybody's spirits or anything else. What I've really have noticed, they've welcomed me with open arms. I've met a lot of great people across BC, the BC leg. Many of the legions have welcomed us with open arms. A lot of the places haven't even been opened. They've offered us meals. It's just been a fabulous ride. I've gotten to know so many great people, and riding for the cause is a bonus. And it's something that people don't realize, that it's not necessarily just for the military children. It's for anybody that's involved that has vision impairments and stuff like that. So for me, it was a no-brainer to come on the ride, and I can't wait to do it again next year.
So I understand that you've been riding in some form or another, on some portion or another, of all 7 of the rides that they've had.
Yes, the very first year was the best story, maybe. I got wind of the ride. It was going east to west. It ended up in Comox, and they had all the military brass there. The colonel of the military police was there to meet them when they arrived. I got wind of them coming, so me and my granddaughter jumped on my motorcycle and drove down as far as Parksville. We met him in Parksville, and to come back to the air base in Comox with the ride. And the next morning, the local newspaper had a great big caption: "Cross Canada motorcycle ride," and here was me and the granddaughter, front and center. We had joined up in Parksville that year, but I made up for it the last 2 years. I was all the way. I went from Halifax to Victoria 2 years ago, and from Victoria to St. John's, Newfoundland, and back last year.
Why do you do it?
Oh, well, you like riding motorcycles, but it's a good cause. We meet sometimes the blind beneficiaries. The blind kid beneficiary comes out and meets us along the way. We've had quite a few of them. We met one of them last year, I think it was. We met one, and now, or 1 year, and now she's an executive in a credit union or something. So she's a functioning member of society, because we probably gave her some start to keep her going.
That must be really rewarding to be able to see the difference you're making in people's lives.
Oh yes, and we get lots of support. Anybody that hears of us, lots of people come by in pickup trucks and pull out a 20 out the window and say, "Here you go," and we keep on going.
So people that have been watching this know that this is a national ride, but we're talking to people that are in the BC leg of this ride, but you are one of the few people here that has actually done the whole Cross Canada ride. Tell me about last year, for example, you did the whole ride.
Oh yes, last year 21 days from Victoria to St. John's, Newfoundland, and every day was an adventure. It was a great time.
How many miles did you cover?
Well, I put 18,000 kilometers on my, I bought a brand new Spider and I put 18,000 kilometers on it on the trip in 5 weeks.
This ride is open to all motorcycle enthusiasts, I understand. How do people get involved? Obviously, they're not going to be able to be involved this year, but how would they be involved for next year?
Well, the easiest way would be to go to the website. It's mpnmrr.ca. So Military Police National Motorcycle Relay Ride. Condense that down to your acronym, and then you can apply online. Well, it's not even an application. You can register online to ride. You can donate online, and you can find more about the Military Police Fund for Blind Children from that website as well.
And as I said, it is a very, very worthy cause. How do people donate if they just want to make a donation?
You could either, if you come across us on the ride or the main ride that's going across the country, you can donate cash or check. Anything's accepted. And also you can donate directly on the website through the secure website donation.
The Legions across Canada continue to be a big supporter of this ride. How do they help you in what ways?
I'll be honest with you, there's no way we could do it without them. The cost of going on this ride for a rider, first of all, they have to pay their registration fee, which is either $25, $50 or $1,500 depending on how far they're going. Then they've got to put fuel in the machines every day, and they've got to pay for their accommodations every night, although we do get some discounted accommodations. Where the Legions come in is they feed us. So you can imagine on a holiday how much are you spending for restaurant meals 3 times a day. Well, about 70 to 80% of that is covered by the Legions across the province and the country. You know, we get a lot of support from the Legions, but we also get support from people like yourself, the little community media that get the word out. I mean, there's people here in this Legion tonight from the community because they've heard about it through you. And that's what it's all about, you know, raising some awareness, raising a bit of money, a whole lot of camaraderie, and yeah, it's just fantastic that people get together. You were at the brewery this afternoon, and I talked about it a little bit. If the riders talk to people, they run into people like Michael, they run into people like Pete, who runs this Legion. And there's so many people that are looking for opportunities to help out, whether it's a children's charity, a military charity, an animal charity, it really doesn't matter. There's just so many great people across this country that want to get involved, and sometimes they just need to know there's an opportunity.
And will you be back next year?
Oh, I don't know. I could be. I didn't go this year because my 50th wedding anniversary is in 4 days. So Patricia says if I don't come back for that, I may not see 51.
What would you say to people who are maybe have a slight interest in this, maybe for doing it for next year?
If you're at all interested, try and find it. Go on the website, email people. If you're interested in come on the ride, the more the merrier. The more money we can raise for children with sight problems, it would benefit so many more people.
And so, are you going to be back next year?
Absolutely, I am, and I'm actually gearing up for the 2018 ride, which will be their 10-year anniversary, and I'd like to do the national ride, go from one end to the other end. I think that would be an unbelievable experience.
Well, great. Well, enjoy the last couple of days on the ride, and thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
We are Friday the 7th of August, Valemount to 100 Mile House, 330 kilometers, 4 hours in the saddle, so not a bad day. There's some constructions 12 kilometers east of Lone Butte, I don't know how to pronounce that. But Butte, thank you. Okay. Single lane traffic, so there may be a bit of a delay there, but nothing too much, and that's the only one, so it's a pretty good day, really. As far as forest fire goes, there's the Thunder River forest fire south of Valemount. It is in our way, but it's not a fire of note, so I don't expect any problems except for maybe a little smoke. Once again, I'd like to thank Pete. Always count on Pete. You know, great supper, great breakfast. You're always there for us, buddy, and I appreciate it. All right.
Okay, we'll see you next year.
Carrie, thanks again for the lift. Do you have your eyes open yet, dear? Oh, there you are. You're getting it. And Jen, thanks for coming out and supporting us. All right. Mount up.